Doesn't just score with the ball, she distributes as well. It'll be up to Drexel to try and slow Latson down. They held her to 22 points in this matchup last year up in Philadelphia. And we are underway as Makayla Timpson wins the opening tip. Back to Snoop Turnage, and Latson takes over. Latson starts things off with a three, and just like that, off to a hot start.
And mentioned it last season, her three-point percentage was down in the 20s. This season so far, over 41% from the three-point line, so you can't sag off of Latson, but then you know that if you get up and close that gap too much, he's gonna take you off the dribble and beat you one-on-one.
Maris Baker leads the charge here for the Drexel Dragons. You saw the starting lineup: Baker, Hodges, Evans, O'Neal, and McCormack. Baker, the leading scorer for the Dragons this season, averaging 17.3 points per game as Villegas misses that outside shot. Dragons, their goal today is to limit as many possessions as Florida State as they can. They're a team that is really defensive-minded, but can shoot when given open looks. McCormack in particular can shoot from outside. Deja Evans rallying, trying to keep possessions back to McCormack, fighting off Latson, and they maintain, but shot clock's down to under 2. And that one rattles in and out. Rebounded by Timpson.
This retooled defense for Florida State. Expect them to cause some difficulties for the Drexel Dragons. Florida State's method on the defensive end this year is to disrupt defensively, and you can see that's exactly what they did on those first 2 possessions for Drexel.
Omaria Gordon will go to the line after drawing the foul. Player who joined the 1,000-point club a couple games ago.
Maria Gordon coming off a 21.4 assist performance in the Seminoles ACC opener last time out against SMU. Gordon this season averaging about 16 a game. She put up 14 points last season in the matchup of these 2 teams.
Former head coach Sue Semrau used to call her small but mighty, and she has been a superhero in a lot of ways, stepping up. As you see, Timpson also stepping through at midcourt, and it forces a turnover. Gordon takes over, but airmails that pass a little too forceful, and it'll go back to the Dragons.
Maria Gordon was at close range there with Makayla Timpson, put a little bit extra on it. Too much for Timpson to handle.
Head coach Brooke Wyckoff a little disappointed in that effort.
She's gonna like what she's seeing though on the defensive end. That's the 2nd steal in a row for Florida State. Latson already with 5 quick points to lead the Noles.
24th steal of the season, and almost had another one as well. That'll come back here the other way. Latson really energized, and this is actually something Brooke Wyckoff wanted to emphasize coming into this game. They've been out to a little bit of a few slow starts this season, trying to work their way back. Another turnover. Defense really pounding and pouring it on as Gordon collects 2 more.
Drexel had the right idea there. They thought they had a look over the top to a player, Chloe Hodges. Snoop Turnage there to bat it away.
Baker trying to say enough's enough, but again, Florida State's defense, Timpson and Latson back underneath the glass.
Well, this is a Drexel team that likes to slow things down a little bit. They can play an up-tempo game if needed, but they would prefer to play much more in the half court, rely on their defense, and Florida State has done a great job of speeding them up here so far.
Excellent. Bank is open for Deja Evans, kisses it off the glass for her first 2 points. She's really coming on strong for the Dragons as of late. Snoop Turnage with the 3, swish!
Snoop Turnage, most known for her defense and rebounding, but she's got the ability to knock down the long ball as well, as she shows there, and the Noles out to a 10-point lead.
And another turnover, Villegas in there. Gordon now from the charity stripe jumper. That one rattles in and out as well. But a 10-point lead quickly for the Seminoles.
Florida State has already forced 4 turnovers by Drexel. We're just 3 minutes into this game.
Baker, floater, nice.
I'm excited to see Maris Baker. Watched a little bit of film on her. She's scored in double digits in 15 straight games. She leads the nation in minutes played, so you're gonna see a lot of her today.
And Latson once again challenged on that floater up but gets it to go down. You're right about Baker, the reigning most outstanding player in the 2024 CAA Conference Tournament last year, averaged almost 20 points a game in that 4-game stretch that led the Drexel Dragons to a CAA championship and a berth into the NCAA tournament. They've made 10 straight postseason trips, whether it's been the women's NIT or the NCAA tournament. Once again, Evans unable to get that one to go, and back the other way. Here comes the up-tempo approach for the Seminoles as Drexel looks to set their defense, which kind of looks like a 2-3 zone typically. They'll switch some man if there's more perimeter play. Latson, Evans coming over the top, gets the foul.
Evans trying to do everything she can to slow down Tanaya. Latson comes over and tries to block the shot, but gets Latson with the body. Tanaya Latson so good and athletic, able to draw that contact, get herself to the free throw line. Again, mentioned she is one of the best in the ACC, gets to the line over 9 times a game so far this season for Florida State.
See the resume of Brooke Wyckoff. There's a big high five to Carla Villegas coming off. Loving what Carla's doing here on the defensive end. 4 ranked wins last season, most for the Seminoles since the 2019-2020 season. They're looking to get back into the rankings themselves very, very soon. Performances like this will certainly help. But ultimately, you're going to have to go against your conference and face those ranked teams and play really well.
And there certainly are a number of those in the ACC, so the Seminoles will have plenty of chances against ranked opponents this season.
Grace O'Neal over to Jalen McNeil.
Seminoles in this man-to-man defense that switches.
Back outside to Lavin, who can't finish, but it's O'Neal who does put it right back.
O'Neal at just 5'7", one of the best rebounders on this Drexel Dragon team, averages almost 6 rebounds a game from her guard spot.
Only Deja Evans is better, and she plays the forward position. Maria Gordon, I think Lavin may have gotten a piece of that, but it's Timpson who's right there to collect. Insurance by KK Timpson, one of the best follow-up offensive rebounders and putback artists in the game.
Timpson with her first 2 points of the game. She's got a couple rebounds already. We'll keep a double-double watch on her. She averages a double-double this season at 18 points a game and over 10 rebounds. I'm
curious to see how she matches up with Deja Evans over the course. And you see the extension by Timpson denying an easy pass in the middle for the Dragons. 18-6 in favor of the Seminoles. We'll take our first break. Florida State rolling here at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Definitely provide a lot of success. This pass from the baseline goes errant, however, recovered by McNeil. There's Baker from way beyond the arc, and that will turn the tide a little bit.
That's a good look for Baker. Florida State got caught in a bit of a switch there and had 6'3" sophomore Avery Treadwell out guarding Amaris Baker, the 5'8" senior guard.
Latson for 3, nothing is stopping Tanaya Latson. Already in double figures.
12 points already for Tanaya Latson here midway through the first quarter.
So if the Dragons can respond, it'll be tough sledding if they can't keep this game to within a few possessions. Chloe Hodges mishandles, but able to recover, trying to get around Valenzuela, but her and Treadwell in her way, and that results in a shot clock violation.
Yeah, another really good defensive possession by Florida State to force that shot clock violation.
And with that last 3, Tanaya Latson moves into 4th place all time in FSU career scoring, surpassing Tia Pascal, who was here at Florida State in the early 90s. Latson again, trying to get to 3rd place quickly.
Keeps putting up numbers like this. Those gaps will vanish quickly, and she'll be up there with Natasha Howard and Sue Galcantis, two of the all-time Seminole greats.
One of the things Brooke Wyckoff did emphasize, though, we asked her about that this week, is that she cares mostly about winning. Of course, it helps when you're an elite scorer. That definitely leads to winning. As Baker puts down another 2, she's finding her rhythm a little bit right now, trying to get Drexel to under 10 points.
Florida State commits a turnover there. I think looked like Sydney Bowles didn't get all the way out of bounds, was in a hurry to quickly rush it up the floor. And official Bruce Morris saw it all the way. Outstanding crew here. Bruce Morris, Eric Harriman, and Nick Capel.
Saw Brooke Wyckoff from the sideline right there. Like, let's go. Let's stay sharp now. We can't allow Drexel to get back into this matchup. We're going to keep the ball here. Looks like it was last touched by Florida State. Here's Amy Mallon, the head coach for the Drexel Dragons in her 5th season, the 2022 CAA Coach of the Year. Every single year they have had a postseason run with her under the helm, as Latson once again plucks that out of the air and draws a foul, gets the bucket, and will go to the line for one more.
Tania Latson went high to grab that steal and then took it the length of the floor, finished through the contact, and one opportunity. Latson off to a hot start. 14 points already, 5 of 6 from the floor. 2 made threes and a couple of free throws.
I don't know what you do, Melissa. Do you put stick 'em on the bottom of your shoes? Like, what do you do? It's so impressive watching Latson finish at the rim, shoot from outside. She certainly can do it all, and she'll have to have one of those things back, though, from the free throw line at least. But still, to get more points, and it extends Florida State's lead back to 12. Tough defense by Bowles against Baker leads to another turnover. Here's Valenzuela going up against Hodges. Those long arms of Valenzuela.
Good to see Mariana Valenzuela back in the lineup for Florida State. Missed all of last season with that knee injury. Needed a few of the games earlier on this season to recover. She's working herself back into shape and looked good on that possession.
And missed the first 6 games, as you mentioned, Melissa. It's an extra depth piece for the Seminoles. They've lacked some depth in previous years at times, and this is a squad that has not only the depth but the experience, and Baker with plenty of experience as well. Rainbow arc of a 3.
Yeah, Baker with just 2 points in the matchup between these two teams last year. She's got 10 already to lead the Dragons.
3 from the corner was Bowles. That one not able to go. So 2 scorers already in double digits, Latson and Baker. Why are you shocked? Those are the 2 leading scorers on both these teams. Evans trying to get things going. A little too hard off the glass on the angle. McNeil underneath the basket, surrounded by Florida State. Blocked this time by Latson. Baker keeping it. Patty cake with that one. Bouncing around, hot potato. And a shot by McCormack off the mark. And a charge by Amaya Bonner goes the other way. Good job by Chloe Hodges, the grad student for the Dragons, to defend and get in place.
Yeah, nice defense there by Hodges. Amaya Bonner wanted desperately to take it to the rim, but just dropped that shoulder in and created the contact initially. It'll be a turnover on Florida State. It'll be their 3rd.
So the Dragons starting to get a little bit feisty here, but here comes Latson right back at it.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Turning over Lainey McGurk. Florida State really employing this full court press brilliantly right now, Melissa. Drexel, as we talked about, they like the half court style, and it's tough right now when you have such an athletic team you have to deal with that implies that full court press like the Noles.
Now Latson already with 3 steals here in the first quarter. Has come to play on a Sunday.
At 23 to start this game, up to 26 now. And there's Molly Lavin, transfer from American University.
That was a nice move there by Molly Lavin.
4 games of 15-plus points scored last year, and Timpson back with 2 more of her own, and she'll go to the line.
Now we thought the matchup to watch in the post was going to be Deja Evans and KK Timpson, but back-to-back possessions, Timpson, Lavin going at each other. Timpson gets the best of that matchup that time.
Evans being subbed out a little bit, still a young player. She's 6'2" to match Timpson's 6'2", but right now, Amy Mallon trying to employ their depth, keep everybody fresh, but it's been hard to stop Florida State. Up to 30 points in this first quarter. Just over 43 ticks left in it.
Yeah, Florida State shooting at almost 70% from the floor here in this first quarter. 11 of 16 and 3 of 5 from beyond the 3-point line for 60%.
And keep in mind, this is statistically Florida State's lowest performing quarter in terms of points scored this year. They've been a team that's tended to heat up as the matches go on. McCormack, there's a three.
That's a big-time shot from McCormack over the long arms of KK Timpson.
He's taken the most three-pointers this season for the Dragons. Transfer from Holy Cross.
Yeah, she averaged 11 points a game, played in every game last year for Holy Cross. She's a nice addition for Amy Mallon and this Drexel team.
Was on the Patriot League Championship All-Tournament team as Timpson able to find the bucket again just before the quarter comes to an end. To start the second quarter as Drexel looks to get going, stay in this game, and keep it from getting out of hand too fast. Hodges rejected by Timpson down the baseline. Latson cheering on, clapping from the sidelines to see 16 for Latson and Baker with 10. Both, though, very efficient.
Yeah, in any other game, we're talking about Amaris Baker and what a great start she is. 10 points in a quarter. Not to be outdone, Tanaya Latson puts up 16 to lead Florida State.
You see Timpson in particular with another block. She is fourth in the country in blocks entering tonight with 31. As Lavin heads to the line, and unable to get that one to go down. Those are precious points. Got to knock down free throws to stay put and keep pace with the Seminoles.
Foul on Omaria Gordon of Florida State, trying to go down and help a teammate out.
Lavin, a good spark off the bench for the Dragons, gets this one to go and gets the Dragons to 20 points. A very versatile player, according to head coach Amy Mallon. Has very good presence alongside Deja Evans down there in the paint. Timpson against Lavin. Shot a little strong. Turnage in there to beat two Dragons to the ball. Villegas looking for a three. McCormack there to meet her. Out to Gordon. Stopped in her tracks. Back out to Diaz Dos Santos. Kick out and a charge against Dos Santos. It'll go the other way. So Hayani Diaz Dos Santos.
Another look at that one. Lavin came over.
Active feet there.
Not sure if she was quite set on that one, but went to the ground and sold it.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
See if this can spark something for the Dragons to see if they can trim this lead a little bit more. I want to see if they can frustrate Florida State, get those moments, and capitalize on these momentum shifts when presented, and that is one they're going to want to have back, as Lavin knows instantly she had Hodges open, but way too far out of reach.
That was a right idea on that, just couldn't quite connect, and now that's 9 turnovers for Drexel.
Latson back into the game, and this time Lavin unable to draw the charge. He'll stay with the Seminoles. This is just the second all-time meeting between these two squads. They faced off last year up in Philadelphia. Florida State came away with a 76-56 victory. Latson held to just 22 points, and she is really on pace to surpass that right now as she has the ball, working her way all the way around. Over to Turnage, the high school and AAU teammate. Back together again here on the college level. Now Gracie O'Neal. Hodges, Turnage right in her face. Evans, though, and another swat by KK Timpson. Evans, though, stays put with it, and this will stay with the Dragons. Last touch by the Seminoles.
Another big-time block from KK Timpson, coming from out of area to swat that one away. Give Evans some credit, though. Stayed with the play and kept the ball alive for the Dragons.
Already second all-time in blocks is Timpson for Florida State. There was a swat by Gordon. She got a piece of that one against O'Neal. The Seminoles are flying all over the court right now. Latson gets 2 more.
The pace of this game definitely favors Florida State.
Oh, that shot by Latson, working away from the basket with her strong hand against her shoulder too, and Latson just is missed no days off.
Oh, and they're going to get a 10-second backcourt violation. Drexel did not get it across half court in time. And Florida State making things difficult on the offensive end for Drexel.
It's making Amy Mallon really work hard over there on the bench to keep her team focused, engaged, and alert of what Florida State's doing. If they're not going to steal it, they'll force you those 10-second violations as well. Timpson warding off 4 Dragons. Garden left all alone on the other side.
Everybody's so worried about KK Timpson and her ability to rebound the basketball. She draws 2 people once she grabs it. Amari Gordon left wide open for the layup. Good court recognition and good vision from Timpson to see that one.
Well, this goes to what Amy Mallon said to us earlier this week as Baker tried to float that one in, doesn't as Turnage rebounds it. She said, they say of KK Timpson, she eats glass for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's appropriate. And here's what's appropriate as well. Tania Latson is in fuego. Another 3-pointer from distance for Tania Latson and the Seminoles. Makes it a 19-point game. 4-3 for Florida State. And the Seminoles just continue to roll as timeout is taken. We'll be back here after the break.
%65 from the floor. They are really difficult to stop.
We touched on it earlier. Brooke Wyckoff really wants her team to get better at, getting engaged early on in the matchup. As you see, just do it right out of break again as Sydney Bowles gets 2 points off of the steal. Another turnover forced in the front court here for the Seminoles.
Yeah, we won't have a chance to talk to Coach Brooke Wyckoff, but I can guess that she's going to be really pleased with the defensive intensity and energy that she's seeing from her squad here today. The fact that they forced 11 turnovers and got 14 points off those turnovers here this early in the game. I know that will make her heart happy.
Something that they say they focus on every game to improve defensively. Hodges wants a 3 and almost got that one to go with the shot clock winding down. But back the other way, up-tempo again for Florida State. In fact, the challenge, she says, for them right now is to put several quarters together, play a more full 40 minutes, something that they haven't done in every game this season. And right now, I think, as you said, she'd be pleased and is very pleased with what her team is doing on the defensive side right now.
Yeah, Florida State on a little 9-0 run here to start the second quarter.
Valenzuela keeps that run from going out of bounds. Getting pressured by Grace O'Neal. Not a lot of room to maneuver over there, but the Noles able to work their way out of it. Bowles looking for help, finds Timpson, going up against Evans. And that one unable to go down, a little too far off the mark. A little strong roll.
KK Timpson shoots it over 50% from the floor. Surprised a little that she missed that one. Credit the defense by Evans.
One of the better percentages on the floor for Florida State. Only Avery Treadwell has a better field goal percentage. McCormack down low, and that one goes off of Deja Evans. Amy Wallen will put
Trying to give it to your post players. You can't throw it that low. Don't expect a post player to go grab it down around their knees. You got to find a way to get it up.
That's why they
hit them in the numbers.
That's
throw
why they
that
call
lob.
for the ball. They call for the ball up here. We don't want it down here.
Post players do not like to reach down and have to try to pull it off their ankles.
Spend enough energy
Exactly.
going up in the post against the forward behind me. I'd have don't need any more of that extra work.
Ooh, good defense that time.
Good pickpocketing by
Gravely.
Ariana Gravely, the freshman out of Williamstown, New Jersey. Gets rewarded with her ever. One of 6 newcomers for Drexel this season, 4 of which have earned significant time. Gravely, this is just her 4th game of the season, and plays like that will earn her more time.
Absolutely. This is a Drexel team that made the NCAA tournament last season, won the CAA tournament. We're picked to finish 2nd in the CAA this season,
McCormack.
Even with those newcomers.
Nice bucket by McCormack, way beyond the arc. To get 3 more for Drexel, back to within 20. And that was quite the run they had toward the end of the season to get that CAA tournament championship. They were a 7 seed and had to run through the gauntlet of those top tournament teams. They faced a 10 seed Delaware team that's going to be leaving the CAA this year, but has been a historically solid program. Beat the 2 seed Monmouth by 2 points, then won on a buzzer beater with 3 seconds left against Towson, and then got to the final against number 1 seed Stony Brook and won 68-60 for their best 3-point shooting performance of the year.
Ooh, nice strong take from KK Timpson, but again, just too strong on the glass, couldn't finish it.
How about Gravely? Right in there in the mix, the freshman off the bench, making Timpson work for it. McNeil down there as well, so the bench for Drexel getting some fresh minutes and proving to be good. However, here come the Noles once again. It's Amaya Bonner and an easy fast break transition bucket for Florida State.
Quick hands from Amaya Bonner, just swipe that one away from McCormack.
Just more points off turnovers for Florida State. I think that's 16 points. Swatted, but still kept by Baker. So Drexel can turn it on a little bit themselves if they have some open floor. They are not afraid to take the outside shots and run down into the paint. Valenzuela from beyond.
That's what Florida State has been waiting on for Mariana Valenzuela. She shot it over 40% from the three-point line in her career this season, off to a bit of a slow start as she works her way back into game shape.
In fact, just 25%. And just coming off that injury, as you touched on, Melissa, and that one fouled by Gravely. That's so tricky when you have a leg injury like that, but you have to find your movement again and feels comfortable. Let's take another look at Valenzuela's shot.
Yeah, she looked confident shooting that one, had a chance to get her feet set, took her time on that one, held the follow through. Valenzuela can really help spread the floor as if Florida State needs another dynamic scorer. But from that stretch forward position, she can really help the Noles keep things open in the paint.
Well, it's certainly something that they have been excellent at doing here under Brooke Wyckoff. They have been a scoring machine with their talent, but their fluidity of how they approach it. Bowles, another three-pointer for Florida State.
Noles are 6 of 8 from the three-point line here this afternoon. That make from Sydney Bowles.
Well on pace to get to triple digits if they keep this up. It has been a dominant performance once again for the Seminoles on their home court. Drexel, this is their first game outside of the state of Pennsylvania, and it has been tough sledding. And that one off of the glass.
Shot clock was winding down.
I thought it may have rung off, but it looks like Florida State got the ball to change the possession. And a foul by Drexel as the ball was coming down off the shot by Bowles. We'll stay with the Seminoles.
Take a look at this last three. Nice inside out there. Bonner draws the defense in the paint, kicks out to Bowles for the wide open look at three.
Yeah, that's something Drexel does when they determine whether they play 2-3 zone or man. If you see players going into that paint, they will crash and they will surround. They'll play more man if you see the opponent take more outside shots. The problem is Florida State's just doing anything they want and balanced in doing that, and it's really just hard to stop them. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Under 2 minutes to go.
Tonight, Latson, they're showing she's human. She missed a shot, but then got her own offensive rebound and kept it alive to get another possession.
Latson squeezing down on Grace O'Neal. That one too strong. Treadwell couldn't get to it. O'Neal does.
We mentioned Grace O'Neal, a really good rebounder at just 5'7". She had 9 points last season against Florida State as well, so she's not afraid of playing these Power 4 schools.
Incredible stamina too. 71 career games, she's made 70 starts. Part of the 2022-23 CAA rookie team as well. As Baker unable to lift that ball over the rim. Treadwell wins the ball.
Yeah, Treadwell coming in and giving Seminoles some good minutes there. Doing a nice job holding down the paint, rebounding the ball, and she's gonna get a chance to go to the free throw line after collecting that foul from McNeil.
Yeah, Brooke Wyckoff really likes the way Treadwell's come along. Always ready to play, continues to improve. A hard-nosed competitor when she first came here to Florida State to begin with.
And nobody's working harder than Avery Treadwell in the games, in practice. She's going to give you 100% of her effort every time she steps on the floor.
Yeah, certainly the future here. And what is a senior season for KK Timpson? Was a dominant high school player at Bearden High School in Tennessee. 1,500 points, 1,000 rebounds, 200 blocks. That'll get you noticed. That'll get you.
Seminoles had a chance to go back.
Possibilities.
Avery Treadwell from right outside Knoxville. Seminoles had a chance to go and spend an evening at the Treadwell home on their recent trip to Knoxville. Good opportunity for the Seminoles to get to know their teammate just a little bit better.
What was a really back and forth battle. Actually, Florida State really had to work their way back into that game, but had a dominant third quarter to match Tennessee. In the end, the Volunteers squeaked it out by 2. Latson getting double teamed. Treadwell was calling for it. There she gets it, and she puts it back in. So there's the assist as well.
Yeah, what an unselfish play from Tanaya Latson. Again, she probably could have scored that on her own, but saw that Treadwell was open and has been working so hard. Why not give your teammate the ball and let her have some glory as well? It's a 9-0 run now for Florida State over the last 2.5 minutes.
That gets Latson to 40 assists on the season. As prolific of a scorer as they come, but unselfish at the same time. Evans, good rebounding. Shot by Hodges, off to the right. Turnage underneath. And now Florida State will slow the pace with 10 seconds left here in the half. Looking for one final shot to extend their lead. Latson, will she take it herself? Yes, she will. Will it go down? Not this time. Smiles from Latson, trying to add to that point total, but nonetheless, a brilliant performance by Tanaya Latson and company as the Seminoles are out to a 20
classes, and that'll be a challenge for the Noles there early on.
Yeah, they get the first game against SMU, which they've won victoriously last weekend, but as you see, that first real true opening slate of conference tournament play, or conference play, I should say, in the regular season. 3 of their first 4 on the road. Got to go to Blacksburg. Team that was very impressive last year, Melissa.
Yeah, and you can expect a sellout whenever you go to Blacksburg. They are one of the best attended schools in all of the ACC, so expect a big crowd that you've got to play in front of. And you mentioned it, yeah, they were a Final Four team last year.
Definitely made waves in the ACC. But yeah, the new revamped Atlantic Coast Conference with Stanford and Cal. So the Seminoles, that'll be a really interesting test going across the country on the West Coast.
Just saw one player from Florida State that's going to be excited to go back out to her home stomping grounds. Amaya Bonner there was doing a little celebrating before the play starts here in the third quarter, but she'll be back at her previous school in Cal and back in front of friends and family there as a California native.
We are back underway, 52-25 in favor of the Seminoles. Snoop Turnage with an open look. I'll take that, says Snoop Turnage.
Everybody concentrating on Tanaya Latson as she's on the right side of the floor. Drexel trying to get the ball out of her hands. She quickly finds Snoop Turnage, who makes them pay. Noles extend their lead to 30.
This is the strongest quarter for the season for Florida State, third quarter. And in fact, in the last 2 games against Tennessee and SMU combined, they outscored them 60-27 as another turnover occurs for Drexel, and Florida State back the other way, and here comes Omaria Gordon, I should say. 8 points now for her on the afternoon.
Yeah, Omaria Gordon with the big steal there on the defensive end and just takes it coast to coast, finishes. Extend the Florida State lead 5-0 here to start the quarter. The opening minute.
Brooke Wyckoff really liking the fact that out of halftime, her team is very strong, focused, dialed in. She wished she wouldn't have to be playing from behind like they had been doing the last 2 games against Tennessee and SMU, but still a good sign for them with an experienced team knowing what they have to do to turn it on as McCormack draws the foul, gets the bucket to go.
Yeah, McCormack showing that not only can she knock down 3, she can put it on the floor and get to the rim. Beats Carla Villegas off the dribble. Gets right into the paint for the Dragons. Can I mention that McCormack, the graduate transfer from Holy Cross, coming in and expected to have a big impact on this Drexel team this season.
Yeah, Amy Mallon said she's finding her way with us. Coming over from Holy Cross, trying to fit into this mold. As you see, once again, who else but 0 back with another bucket and the foul.
Tanaya Latson goes around 3 Drexel players, draws the contact from Gravely. Uses her body to get the contact and finishes anyway.
That's just so good. Yeah, when you have that instant impact and moment of knowing you're going to have to re-angle yourself and get the shot to go down, that is exceptional talent.
I'm not sure there's anybody in the country that's better at finishing through the contact than Makayla Latson. We talked about how much she gets to the free throw line, but I'd love to go back and study and see how many of those are actually and-one opportunities that she has connected on the two-point field goal before getting to the free throw line.
Puts her at 23 points today. There's one thing you can criticize, it's the fact that she's only 50% to the charity stripe. She's 2 for 4.
And that's unusual. She was one of the best in the ACC last season from the free throw line. This season, 82% from the line.
Now Drexel. Baker passing cross court over to McGurk. Drives in, and a nice floater, jump shot. Excellent job entering the paint, and Drexel's at 30.
Haven't called Lane McGurk's number much, but that was a really nice possession there for her.
Outside shot by Villegas. That was only her second shot attempt for as hot as Florida State's been from beyond the arc. Villegas, their exceptional three-point shooter, has really been kind of cold in terms of her opportunities. As another turnover again. It just continues to leak oil. Villegas, this time trying a 2 and not able to go. And still lurking against O'Neal. She had to have eyes in the back of her head to sense Florida State bearing down on her once again.
Rare 2 for Carla Villegas. All 24 of her makes this season are from the three-point line.
Baker again from 3, this time too short. And McGurk able to draw contact on off of Gordon, and it'll stay with Drexel.
Now, one thing that Drexel has done really well today is offensive rebounds. They have 10 offensive rebounds, have only been able to get 5 second chance points off of those, but they've continued to crash the glass hard despite being a little bit undersized to Florida State.
Baker. This time it goes down.
Can't leave her that open. Great execution on the inbounds play for Drexel. Florida State a little unsure as they were switching there on the screens. Late closing out. Baker makes them pay.
Latson up to 25 points. Latson averaging 28.6 points per game on the season. That is obviously tops in the entire country, the nation's leading scorer, and is eyeing for another 30-plus point performance, which would be 19 for her career. Baker, nice little stop, but unable to put it around 2 of Florida State's top forwards and tallest forwards in Valenzuela, I should say, and Timpson.
That was a nifty move from Baker. Tried to go with the up and under, just couldn't finish. Ooh, and then swatted away. That looked like Baker was gonna be able to get a layup. KK Timpson got a hand in on it.
Drexel trying to employ a little bit of a defensive full court press, but still not enough to deny Makayla Latson. Has more than 10 buckets made. 11 for 15 now. 63-32 Seminoles. Well, this is a really good Drexel team that prides itself on defense. Baker too short again. McGurk able to dive in. She gets rewarded with a 3, not able to get it. This one will stay with Drexel. Good effort by Molly Lavin.
Drexel has been impressive on the glass. Again, continuing to send 3 and 4 players to the glass. Try to get extra scoring opportunities.
They do a good job. In fact, they out-rebounded Florida State in that first half. 18-17.
Currently leading the rebound totals, 25-18 on the glass.
It's just been very difficult to find the point opportunities.
Amy Mallon forced to call a timeout there as she thought that her team wasn't going to be able to inbound the ball.
So Amy Mallon will talk things over, trying to get Drexel off on the right foot here in this third quarter. Noles up big here in Tallahassee.
The defense creates their offense. They're trying to slow the game down. Just unfortunate that they have not been able to do that today with the prolific scoring offense of Florida State.
Yeah, just a mismatch in terms of how they play versus Florida State's pace and the athleticism that they provide. But nonetheless, it certainly makes them stronger in terms of what they're going to say. In fact, they don't really face a team like this in Florida State traditionally, but it always helps. They've gotten a lot of different looks in their non-conference schedule of who the teams they've played so far, and actually had a really good performance against Penn State on the road in Happy Valley. Took them to overtime, almost came away with that game.
Yeah, and again, that's what these non-conference games are for, especially in a league like the CAA. You are trying to build for conference play. It's typically going to be just a one-bid league, so that's the focus for the year, is to try to win your league and win your conference tournament to get back to the NCAA tournament.
3-time CAA tournament championships, 3 regular season titles as well to boot. Amy Mallon been leading the charge for the Dragons on that front. It was a good floater, little
nice
hook
move
shot,
from
little
Lavin.
small little hook by Lavin. You know, it's not out of the ordinary for them to face a team with a superstar like Florida State has, and Tanaya Latson, as Timpson puts in 2 more. They actually had a player, as Amy Mallon talked to us earlier this week, that reminded them of Tanaya Latson, Keshana Washington, who's second all-time in scoring and field goals made in program history. Not too long ago, she was with this program, so they're used to seeing teams defend against an all-star talent in Washington and like Tanaya Latson. So it didn't work out for them, you know, trying to solely focus on that one superstar, trying to play the entire team.
Yeah, that's a nice take there again from Kara McCormack. She's got 11 points now, 4 of 6 shooting in 21 minutes. Second on the team, only to Amaris Baker for Drexel.
It's a younger team for Drexel this year. A couple key losses in the offseason last year, including the son of Chris Mullen, the daughter of Chris Mullen, I should say, Brooke Mullen, who is a big 3-point shooter in her own right for the Dragons. There's more points on the board for the Noles.
KK Timpson just sticking with it. Had a little trouble getting it to the rim the first time, but was able to come up with the loose ball and take one step and finish right in front of the rim.
Swat by Valenzuela, trying to prevent the pass outside to McGurk. But even so, McGurk unable to add 3 more points. 67-36 Seminoles. Latson dishes it out to Villegas. Still trying to find her first bucket of the afternoon, and a couple of tips by Timpson, and is able to collect. Get it to Valenzuela.
KK Timpson just continuing to tip the ball to herself until she could get it, but the whole time keeping her eyes up, looking to see a teammate, tips it right to Mariana Valenzuela for the lay-in. Noles up big here in Tallahassee. New faces, new coaches, obviously transfer portal having a factor in those leagues as well. But again, this is a Drexel team that was picked to finish second behind North Carolina A&T. They've got their sights set on another championship and another appearance in the NCAA tournament. Just using these non-conference games to build on that experience and gel together with the 6 newcomers that they have.
And this will certainly be a game that makes them stronger in the long run against a team that has a high-powered attack that tests your stamina, tests how much heart you have. Seminoles do a great job of really showing what they're capable of and testing the waters and testing the opponent of what they are capable of. As Bonner gets an outside shot, a little too far off the mark to the left.
There's another big offensive rebound from Avery Treadwell. That last time out by Brooke Wyckoff was really just to get some subs in the game. Her starters and top 5 had played the majority of the 3rd quarter. She wanted to get a break. She had 4 players set to check in.
3 of those starters still in this game. Turnage, Gordon, and Latson. O'Neal gets that one to go down for Drexel. Nice high arcing shot that got nothing but nylon. Less than 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Florida State up by 31. Bonner getting some extra time. well off the glass. Treadwell, though, able to put it back. Another offensive board for Florida State.
And Bonner a little off balance there as she got into the paint. I think had no option but to kind of just toss it up at the rim. And you know when you've got players like Avery Treadwell and Makayla Timpson and Snoop Turnage in there that are going to rebound the ball, you have that freedom to go ahead and shoot that shot because the chances are good that one of your teammates is going to come up with a rebound.
And here's another steal for Gordon. Easy 2 points. Gordon gets to 10 points on the afternoon, the third Seminole in double digits. Speaks to the faith, Melissa, that you're talking about there. Like, even though you may not have the right shot, you trust that a teammate is in the area to follow up for you.
And it's just gives this team the freedom and the flexibility to shoot the three when they're open and to go attack the rim.
Another insertion by Latson. Turnage was able to collect, and Gordon unable to put the layup down. Trying to get it to Emily Jones, but out of her reach. Trying to beat Tanaya Latson. And it'll go back to the Noles.
Both teams substituting pretty liberally here in the third quarter.
Game well in the hand of Florida State. 40.2 seconds left in the third. Right, good opportunity for Drexel and Florida State to get some fresh minutes against. These teams have had at least 7 days off. For Florida State, it's been a full week.
And it's that holiday break from exams. Players given the week to concentrate on finals, and now it's back to some hoops.
Drexel had 9 days off in particular. There's Hayani Diaz dos Santos getting on the score sheet.
Dos Santos, the transfer from Gulf Coast State, just up the road over in Panama City.
Cormack, once again, another layup off the glass. Didn't touch the rim, and possession.
But it's hard to do, easier to say.
Bravely with the shot. Shot clock winding down. Jones tried to get one up to go.
I think that's blocked by Avery Treadwell.
Blocked again. Seminoles down in the paint are ruthless with those hands in the sky. And there's more hands by Avery Treadwell. Sticks the tongue out too. She's really getting some momentum going in her direction.
Latson now with 5 assists. A couple of those to Avery Treadwell here in the second half.
McGurk, good move to draw off Dos Santos, but still not able to put back. And that's just the key, I think, for Drexel now, Melissa. And, Amy Mallon told us, it's the shooting's not where we want it to be. It is for Snoop Turnage, however. Boy, she has really been lighting it up from three-point land. She is perfect, in fact, 3 for 3.
Yeah, Snoop Turnage with 9.6 rebounds. Put her on double-double watch as well.
This is just, it goes back to what Drexel's trying to work at, in terms of getting their offense turned up a notch. Have to knock down shots and have to do better executing, dealing with pressure, and can't turn the ball over. And unfortunately, all 3 of those have not gone in their direction today. And it just speaks to the tenacity of the Seminoles. They have really come out and done a nice job defensively. Probably Florida State's best defensive performance, you could argue, on the season so far.
Yeah, again, Drexel, you can tell exactly what they're trying to do on the offensive end. They have a good system. They know what they're trying to run. They're just having trouble running it against the athleticism and the length of Florida State.
2 more points for Latson, up to 29. She's been close a couple of times as of late to hit 40, which would be an FSU record in a single game. 39 against SMU, 38 against Tennessee, but just surpassed her season average off that last bucket. Hodges out to Jones, corner 3, not able to go. Last touched, no, still inbounds is Bonner, and able to get it to Turnage. Bonner out of gas a little bit after warding off the Dragons. Latson, way too strong. Too tall off the glass. Treadwell fighting off more Drexel defenders. Avery Treadwell, just wherever she's wanted to score, she's been able to put it in the rim, in between the rim and down on the net.
Latson has had her way, showing why she is the nation's leading scorer, attacking the basket and finishing strong at the rim.
And she'll take a breather here out of this timeout. You take a look at the leading scorers. Latson reigns supreme, and pretty convincingly too, with a 3.6 point lead, and the next best competitor on the list of top scorers across women's college basketball. Looks like Baker got swatted. He indicated off the face. Dos Santos close by. 10 on the shot clock. Florida State engaging well on the perimeter. McNeil with a shot.
Nice box out there by the Seminoles.
Here comes Dos Santos. Really fast charging down on the fast break. Seminoles 18 fast break points compared to Drexel's none. Gordon slowing down. Timpson with the post up. Back to Gordon. Kick out to Valenzuela. Milking the shot clock down to 3. Here comes Dos Santos. What a beautiful layup. Finger roll, low shot too. Sneaks that one in.
Dos Santos knows a thing or two about scoring as well. She put up a couple 30-point games last season over at Gulf Coast.
Gulf Coast State College averaged almost 12 points a game. Led GCSC in 3-point scoring as well.
Foul away from the ball. I believe that's Sydney Bowles. Haven't called her name as much today. She's been a bright spot. New transfer for the Florida State Seminoles. Averages over 10 points a game. That bigger guard that Florida State was missing last season.
Player who's really proven to be the true 6th player here for the Seminoles off the bench. McGurk can't get it to go down, and another foul against Florida State. Looks like on Timpson.
Would have been Timpson's 10th rebound. She was working hard to get it. Fortunately for Florida State, she worked a little too hard and went right through Molly Lavin.
Searching for another double-double is KK Timpson. Mentioned how Tania Latson moved into 4th place on the all-time scoring list for Florida State as Baker hits another outside shot. Well, Timpson's not too far away from taking over the spot held by her head coach right now in Brooke Wyckoff. She's already taken a few of her records of her time here at FSU, and scoring's up next. Gordon off the mark, and that'll go back to the Dragons. With 5:23 remaining.
I don't think Brooke Wyckoff will complain one bit if any of her records are broken by her current players. She is happy to see those. She'll tell people in the recruiting process, hey, yeah, my jersey's hanging up there, but I want to help you get yours up there too. Certainly several of these Seminoles out there now that have that chance in players like Timpson and Latson.
Well, I think it makes, there's the 10th rebound. There's the double-double for Timpson. I think it speaks volumes too. You know, that was, Timpson's been a player that really came up with Brooke Wyckoff, and actually she's sporting the same jersey number, 21, that Brooke wore in her time at FSU. She saw Gordon with an extra 2 points. So those two have really worked together very closely. Brooke Wyckoff really taking Timpson under her wing. As McNeil hit the deck, foul away from the ball.
You mentioned it. KK Timpson inching her way up in the record books. Now needs just 4 more double-doubles to tie the great Natasha Howard in the double-double category. Gotta think that that's certainly in Timpson's future, the way that she's been playing this season.
Howard, a great player, played at FSU from 2011 to 2014. Back in there is Gordon with another steal. The steals are off the charts for Florida State in this game. Latson again wants more to get to at least 30 points, not able to do it, but Timpson there to get the ball and is held by Hodges. Hodges is like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, Hodges is like, no thank you, you're not scoring that one.
Just go to the cherry stripe. I'd rather you just go and try it there.
Well, that used to maybe be the strategy with KK Timpson, but she is shooting at 83% from the free throw line this season. They're going to call that an intentional foul actually on Hodges. Timpson will get the 2 free throws, and then Florida State will get the ball back as well.
Pretty evident, pretty deliberate by Hodges.
Yeah, no ill will there, just not wanting Timpson to score it. Can't do that. Sometimes that's a little uncomfortable when there's nobody there. You're just not used to shooting with none of your teammates around there. And see Timpson miss on the first one.
Gets the second one to go down. Mentioned how she's close in closing in on Brooke Wyckoff's scoring mark. 17th all-time at FSU. Timpson needs 13 points to surpass her head coach. With only 4:19 left, and might need another game. Might have to wait until Jacksonville this upcoming week for that to occur. Latson, in the meantime, takes on a double team. Good job by Drexel crashing into the paint to deny Latson more points.
Nice back cut there.
Back cut indeed. Hodges able to get it to drop. That's a really well executed play by the Dragons.
Again, you can see these Drexel Dragons know exactly what they're looking for out of these offensive sets. They've just had trouble executing against the athleticism of Florida State.
Bowles from well outside near the logo knocks that one. Gets Florida State to 92 points, 50-point lead. I think Bowles might have heard you, Melissa, that you hadn't
called her name enough.
And
she's like,
okay, I may have had my peripheral hearing working out for me there. Well outside the arc.
Sydney Bowles showing she's got deep range. Nice pass and kick out from Carla Villegas. Knows a thing or two about three-point shooting.
Chloe Hodges, by the way, on that bucket, that was her first points of the game. She had 20, in fact, against Penn State. Another bomb!
Even the official gives Sydney Bowles a little look like, really? Wow, okay. Sydney Bowles now in double figures, 11 points.
Bruce Morris impressed over there, the head official, apparently.
It appeared that way on his face. He didn't hide it well. It's like, okay.
Cutting through. Baker, once again, she'll go to the line.
Let's take another look at that one. That was Grace O'Neal, just didn't think she needed to close out quite that far. And the Seminole bench loving it from Sydney Bowles.
Another 90-point performance for the Seminoles here, Melissa. That's the 9th of the season for Florida State, surpassing 90 points as Baker gets the first free throw to drop.
Baker right at her season average now of 17 points. Make it 18 now. 7 of 19 shooting and 2 of 2 from the line.
Gotta give Baker credit. She's really worked hard. Really came out strong in that first quarter in particular, trying to match Latson tit for tat. Villegas, the only Seminole left who has not scored points. We want to get her on the board.
Man, she's had some good looks today. Hasn't been able to connect on the long ball.
Part of that, you know, with how efficient FSU was in their full court press, you know, those possessions really have eased in for FSU, really not setting the half court where Villegas likes to really patrol and get into position. More points for Baker, gets to 20 on the afternoon. Bowles again. This is how it's done from
Why
three.
not
Three
from Sydney Bowles?
3 in a row for Sydney Bowles. 2 minutes to go. Florida State approaching another 100-point game. Still not letting up. Baker. Collected by Dos Santos. Bowles becomes the 4th Knoll in double figures today. Hodges able to intercept and win the positioning. Heads up play by the grad student, Chloe Hodges.
Yeah, neither team letting up. This is a 40-minute game, and you play hard for 40 minutes. That's what both of these coaches have instilled in their teams all season long. And doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter who's in the game. Going hard all 40 minutes, and you're seeing that on both ends of the floor for both teams.
Drexel really worked hard last season to win the CAA tournament. Down the stretch, they actually had a game against NCA&T, one of the competitors that they really feel is going to be a tough test for them this year. And Coach Amy Mallon told them there was a point in that game where she saw her team kind of down in her spirits, and she basically communicated, look, nobody cares. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You can do this. And it's because we can do it. And that actually became their new motto. It's up in their locker room now, and they've really taken that and run with it, and it's really worked out to their benefit. Getting back to the NCAA tournament last year. Good passing here by the Dragons. Not going down without a fight. They want to leave the state of Florida with something to write home about and build on. Latson tried the crossover move and able to tangle up Drexel and Baker.
Yeah, those are two great scorers that have gone head-to-head all game long. Talked a lot about Tania Latson, but I've been really impressed with Damaris Baker as well. She has shown that she can compete with some of the best in the country here on this court today.
Cooled off from three-point land, but still not so field goal percentage-wise. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Double zero makes it a 1 and 2 zeros for Florida State here in this game, 100, and that gets her north of 30.
It's 100 for the Noles and another 30-burger for Tania Latson through the contact.
You saw
nothing Molly Lavin can do.
You saw Lavin, like what am I supposed to do, right? It's unbelievable. And that will be it for Tania Latson. Puts in the free throw, another excellent performance. Her 19th 30-point-plus game. Will end the day with 32 points. And the Seminoles get north of 100 once again. 4th time this season.
3rd game in a row for Tania Latson, scoring over 30 points.
She is just on a streak and a tear. And I think needs to get a lot of eyes and ears to notice what she is capable of and what she's doing.
Now, I'm not sure what else she would need to do to get the national audience talking about her, but she's got to be in the Player of the Year conversations with players like Hannah Hidalgo and Juju Watkins, Paige Beckers as well.
Obviously, the last couple of years, it's been Caitlin Clark who's really taken a lot of the attention, and for good reason. Obviously, she was an amazing sharpshooter, Steph Curry-like, revolutionizing the women's game. But what Tania Latson's been doing here is nothing short of remarkable in her own right, with how well-rounded her game has become for Florida State. She is a handful for any opponent that faces and stands across from the Seminoles.
Tania Latson, 38 against Tennessee, 39 against SMU, 32 here today in the win over Drexel.
Just a complete performance, I think, most importantly, though, Melissa, for what Brooke Wyckoff wanted to see from her team. Come out strong, get a charge in this team right from the get-go, and really set the tone early. As Turnage gets the rebound, and this will basically do it as Florida State works their way right back up the court. And they will let the clock wind out. In a dominating performance for Florida State, they collect their 10th win of the season, finishing the game 101-51.